welcome back to the Fantasy Tippler. Let's get started. This week was a crazy week with Tuesday night football and injuries all over the place, and it's just, if you won, good job. I mean, like, I was 50% in all my leagues, and I got beat bad by some people. In fact, it's so funny, like, I'm doing very well in most of my leagues, but there's one random league where I'm 0-5. And I kind of like it, actually, because it's a chance for me to really see if I can just rally, sneak my way into the playoff and win it all. So that's going to be my goal. So, Tuesday Night Football, Bills played the Titans last night. Buffalo looked horrible. I don't know what was going on. I think maybe Tennessee got that rust off a little bit right before the game by doing illegal practice. You may have heard about that. It's good. If that's so, fuck them. I mean, that's just crazy. But Buffalo's defense, I know they were highly touted coming into the season. And I dropped them a while back after watching them. And now I'm just going to avoid them unless I see some much better play and the matchup's much better. But they're a landmine for me now. So, Dalvin Cook went down. So, if you were like me, you had Alexander Madison on your bench. You drafted him preseason. This is your time to shine. Because Dalvin Cook for sure will not be playing week 6 to get a bye after. And then we'll reevaluate when he may be coming back after that. But this week, definitely start Alexander Madison full stream ahead. But beware of the bye week. He's a smash play this week, but he's going to be kind of like a one-off thing. Like, he'll go back to the bench and let Dalvin Cook get re-injured. So, also, man, Dak Prescott down and out for the season, and it's sad to see. I still think he gets a big contract that we're hoping for. It's just, I really hope he gets what he's hoping for. And you know what I really do? Like, I really hope he doesn't come back this year. Like, he doesn't need to come back. Like, you were on pace for Patrick Mahomes numbers, and you earned it. The team loved you. Jerry Jones loved you. They made a mistake. They're going to have to pay you a lot of money now, especially after the deal Deshaun Watson got. So, don't rush it. Don't come back. Take it easy. When you can, be the guy in the room that helps them lead them to a Super Bowl. So, surprising. I was watching the game last night. All of a sudden, like, my Twitter blew up. Lev Bell was cut by the Jets. And I was just writing a note like, don't drop Lev Bell. You want to give him a chance to get away from Adam Gase. I really thought they were going to trade him for something, but nobody was interested in him. So that is scary to me. I think potential landing spots, I mean, like, right now, like, a lot of people are saying, like, maybe Cleveland or a lot of people think Chicago to back up David Montgomery. But I think he goes to Miami and takes over there because I think he just wants to go to Miami. So he's a hole for me right now unless somebody offers you something for him. If it's anything, even like a tight end 2, take it. Because you don't want to deal with the mess that's about to come. I will say his top 15 running back days are over. Like, even if he comes back and does halfway good, he'll be like 25 for the week. So that sucks for him. And it's the reason why I know a lot of people say, look at the volume. Look at all the volume he got. And I'm like, yeah, but he's still on the New York Jets, and he's just not worth a draft pick. I don't have to deal with that. He's on none of my team. But I'm getting a lot of advice about it. So, like, he's definitely, I told people to stop, he was in an IR position. I didn't like starting him in the first place. So, if you got him, hold on to him. Somebody offers something for him, just take it. Doesn't matter what it is. Just get him off your team. Sammy Watkins, finally hurt his hamstring again. So that makes Nicole Hartman a big waiver target for me. And I've been waiting for Sammy Watkins to get out of the fucking way from Nicole Hartman. I love Nicole Hartman. Look at it. Like last game, he got 2 targets. Each one with 25 yards. Like, he's solid. I keep waiting for him to explode. So I have him in a lot of leagues, and then I'm picking them up in the ones where I had to make room for the crazy week we call Week 5. Keenan Allen had a really bad back spasm after he got that hit on the touchdown catch, but he's got a bye, and he could come back pretty fresh. Head coach Anthony Lynn was kind of being positive about it, but Keenan Allen, like, I actually grabbed him in one of my leagues because he fell to either, like, early sick, and that was a deal. And he had been like a flex play for me, not a wide receiver 1 or 2. He's a flex, and I really should kind of vary between who's, like, depending on who the matchup is. That's when I decided to play him. Now, people still think because he had that big name, and he's an amazing receiver. Don't get me wrong, but it's still the Chargers. They still have a young rookie quarterback, and there are other options out there, especially, the way that I've drafted my team. So he's still a flex play for me, so keep him in your flex, and obviously bench him until further notice. Zach Ertz. Okay. I get a lot of questions about him. If you own him, I feel sorry for you. I had a bad feeling about him in the preseason. I let some people know that, like, I don't think you should draft him. Nick was when he still had Dallas Goedert on there. And I avoided him everywhere, so I don't have to deal with this stuff. People tried to trade for him like early on this year, and I flat out refused. I did not want him in any trade offer. So, and there was one draft I was in. He fell to the 7th round. I still wouldn't take him. The guy right after me did. So, I don't know what to tell you, but if you have him, try to trade him away. But you can't drop him. Like, the tight end is a barren wasteland out there, which is not something I predicted early in the season, so I apologize for that. He's a stats on your bench, but you do need to grab somebody else to replace him, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But like I said, like I wouldn't drop him, but I can't recommend you start him anymore. I mean, he just looked terrible. Okay, so let's talk about. It's a late show. We're recording on Wednesday morning instead of Tuesday, so streaming options. And I talked about this during my draft show. Waiver wire. This is the time where the waiver wires are dry enough. There's not a lot of running back. There's hardly any running back options. And this is the time where I know I've trashed wide receiver rookies, but this is when I'm starting to pick them up left and right. People like T. Higgins, obviously Chase Claypool, Justin Jefferson, if he's available. Like, I'm looking at my team, and I'm saying, okay, you had 5 weeks to prove yourself. If you haven't proved yourself, you're gone. I'm talking about the Anthony Millers of the world, the A.J. Greens. Like, A.J. Green's done. Like, definitely swap him out with somebody else. Go grab backup running back for the rest of the season. Because, like it's happening right now. Chase Edmonton's still available in a lot of leagues. I have him in every league I can possibly hit, along with Alexander Madison, and that's like working out. It's going to work out for me later in the season. So Madison, Chase Edmonton, Latavius Murray. I considered dropping him last week, but it's just if I have room and I don't really need to, I won't, because he's gonna get a huge bump if anything happens to Kamara. Now, one lead that has a deeper bench, I have all 3. I'm dropping Latavius Murray in that lead and keeping Chase Edmonton and obviously Alexander Madison just because I have tight end problem and I need to pick up 2 tight ends and kind of stream them the best one available. So speaking of tight ends, let's go into tight ends. So whenever I do my streaming options, I'm not going to go through all of the options. I'm going to go through the ones that I'm targeting that I think you should grab. They may be a little obvious, and I'll try to throw out some that are maybe not so obvious. So starting with tight end, Robert Tonya. Like, I streamed him last week, like on a whim, and he, along with Mason Crosby, helped me overcome a 40-point deficit, and I won. And I was undefeated until this week. My team didn't play good. So I held on to him, I decided to hold on to him, and because my backup was Eric Ebon for this week. So Eric Ebon going back on the waiver wire, and I am rolling forward with Tonya in one of my leagues, just because I dumped Mike Gesicki. I'm done with him. So I think definitely should target him as a tight end streamer. If he's available, he has a really good chance to be a consistent top 8 tight end for the rest of the season, and that's something you really want to watch. So I would actually recommend you spend about 20% of your fab money to try to grab him if he's available, because I think he's about to go off. Mike Gesicki, like I said, I would shoot on Mike Gesicki when the season first started. So the Mike Gesicki sleeper project is fucking over. Like, I'm done with that guy. I don't like the way they're using him. I don't like what I'm seeing. I know he did really well this week. Of course he did. I knew that if I dropped him, he was going to do well, and that's what happened. But I'm not picking him up. I know he scored high this week, but if you remove that one long touchdown run he did, I think it was like 70 yards to a touchdown, his stats were horrible. Like, no separation, very low yards per reception. He's a landmine. Let somebody else step on that. So keep him off your waivers. Don't try to run and grab him. The tight end streamers that I do like, however, I do like Darren Phil, but however, he's playing against Tennessee. Tennessee is really tough against defense. I'm still trying to grab him for he's gonna. I'm hoping he'll be a backup to Tonya if something happens with him, or it's just like kind of a safety net. But I'm okay with streaming Darren Phil now that Bill O'Brien is gone. And Deshaun Watson obviously has a connection with him and Jordan Akins, but I like Darren Phillips just a little bit better. Next, if you're really desperate, Jimmy Graham, dude. He's back. Like, Nick Foles loves him some Jimmy. It's crazy that he's in a conversation, but he's getting to work. He's scoring points, so why not? I'm targeting him in leagues where, for example, like I had to pick up Mo Alley Cox by mistake, and wow. That was a fucking letdown. So, Mo Alley getting replaced by Jimmy Graham in 2 of my leagues. So, wide receiver, Travis Fulgham, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's the only wide receiver that's working in Philly. The great stats. I would not start him against his next game. I think they're playing Baltimore. And be wary of the return of Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey. That may affect his ceiling, if you will. So you need. I'm grabbing him wherever I can. He just looked really good, and he's been around for a while. So next is Chase Claypool, obviously 4 touchdowns. I mean, I like to think that if Deontay Johnson was there, he would have gotten those touchdowns. So a lot of people are going to be running after this guy. I'm targeting him as well, but I am concerned that it was kind of a boom play, like certain things magically fell into play. The Steelers' schedule looks really good. If Deontay Johnson misses any time, he's a smash start. I shouldn't say smash, I should say solid start. There's one league where I have Juju Smith and Deontay Johnson. I don't know why. I didn't do something about that. And I'm not targeting him in that league because I don't want 3 Pittsburgh Steelers on one team. So, yeah, definitely chase after him. He's going to be expensive, so expect about 20% of your fab. Rated receivers like Nelson Aguilar and Henry Rugg. I do have leagues where I am targeting them because I need to start stacking my bench with receivers now that the running back situation is kind of cleared up. The target total bothers me. Both of them had 3 targets, and they have the bye this week, and then they get Tampa. Here's the problem with that. I don't like starting my receivers against Tampa secondary. They have been very good this year, and it definitely affects your point total ceiling. However, the schedule after that looks amazing. So if I have the room and I have the flexibility, I would target Henry Ruggs first, and then Nelson Aguilar next, because him and Carr seem to have, they've kind of gotten into a rhythm with each other, and I'm just going to stash them if I have room. So that's it for receivers. Running backs. Madison, Alexander Madison, of course, if you were dumb enough and didn't listen to me, you probably should have stashed him a long time ago. And if he's on the waiver wire, you're going to have to pay a lot of money for him. And should be waived there. If you are desperate for a running back, you're going to need to spend a lot of fab money. But just remember that there's a possibility that it's just a 1 week smash start. Because Dalvin Cook could come back and he goes right back to your bench. So I do think, however, if you do get him, he's probably going to outscore Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who I'm fucking pissed at, by the way. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's been gotten hit too hard or something. But I mean, maybe that's where Lev Bell should go. He's not scared of getting hit. Because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is just not getting into the end zone. I don't know what's going on. So Alexander Madison, that's an easy one. Justin Jackson, I was surprised to see him on a lot of waiver wire. I made a bad call on this. I thought Jackson had his chance already, and the team was just going to look more toward Joshua Kelly. And Joshua Kelly looked terrible. Fuck that guy. He looks bad. Jackson had a decent game. Go grab him if you see him. I think that's a pretty solid start until Eckler comes back, if he comes back. However, in some leagues, if you guys were kind of like me, you took the risk with Joshua Kelly, and so I am not targeting Justin Jackson if I already have Joshua Kelly. I'm just going to hold Joshua Kelly, because I didn't start him. I never recommended you start him. I'm holding Joshua Kelly just to see what happens the next week. So the kind of was like a crazy game. So, but if you don't have Joshua Kelly, or you really, really just truly are upset with Joshua Kelly, just go ahead and grab Justin Jackson. Who else is out there? Like, there's a deep staff recommendation that I would like to bring up. Brian Hill. Now, I mean deep stats. He's not a starter by any means. But I do have him in some of my super flex leagues, just in case I have Todd Gurley and if something happens to him. I do like what I see with Brian Hill. He looked better this year. And it's kind of a wasteland out there right now. So if I really need to drop, let's just say, I'd rather have, if you still have Kerryon Johnson on your bench, like drop him with like Brian Hill. You don't need Kerryon. That had to be one of the biggest heartaches this year. Because I used to be a huge Kerryon Johnson fan. And should listen to my head instead of my gut. Okay, so Brian Hill, if you got him, deep stats. Quarterbacks. Dreamer of the week, Ryan Fitzmagic. I love this dude. Continues to perform regardless of all the interceptions. Love that guy. So he gets to New York Jets this week. That's an easy A+ matchup. And he can continue to be your streamer. And I mean, like, he's just playing like it's his last season, and I love it. I love watching him. And you notice he's not even like going for the slide anymore. He's going for the tackle when he runs the ball. 38 years old. Only 1 year younger than me. It's awesome. So the next one is obvious. Andy Dalton. A must pick up if you have Dak. Like, I would, if you had a choice between Madison and Andy Dalton, I would go Andy Dalton. But I would actually try to pick up both Ryan Fitzpatrick and Andy Dalton if you're having Dak Prescott problem. You'll need to grab Andy this week because he won't be available next week. But I would start Ryan Fitzpatrick just because the Andy Dalton matchup is a little wonky. Andy Dalton has a history of just being a prime time fail. Anytime there's a national TV spot, he's just full. And that's what's happening this week. So you definitely need to grab him if you had Dak, but I would actually stream Ryan Fitzpatrick just to see what the full game looks like. Speaking of going back to wide receivers, completely forgot. Michael Gallup, a lot of people were asking about like whether they should drop him. No. I know he wasn't. Like, I love Michael Gallup. I know that like a lot of people are really, really disappointed by his performance so far. He's only had like one good week. I would have recommended that if Dak was healthy. I don't know what's going to happen with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton just may love Michael Gallup. So wait one more week, and then if he really doesn't do anything this week, then you can go ahead and like swap him out for hopefully a rookie that's starting to come through. So Yeah, that's it for quarterbacks. All right, kickers and defense. Miami all day. Miami defense, New York Jets, you want Miami defense. It's a great matchup. They've really, really been performing. And a sneaky defensive streamer, if you can't really find anything else out there, would be New York Giants. I'm doing that in one of my leagues. It's part of the fantasy analyst community. So we all stream defenses. So New York Giants are my sneaky streamer defense. I'm targeting Miami in all of my leagues because I think that they're going to put up like 12 points. In kicker, Jason Sanders looked like a juicy matchup. Miami Dolphins once again for kicker of the week, Jason Sanders. So yeah, that's all for today. Hit that subscribe button and follow the Fantasy Tippler, available on all streaming platforms. If you have any questions, you can email me directly at thefantasytippler@gmail.com. Cheers.